everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacey and I'm an infidelity recovery coach who specializes in helping men and women in their affair and prevent relapse. So if you'd like to know any more, if you have any more questions, look in the description box below. There's a link down there that you can sign up to my free one-on-one, and I can assess where you are and create a program that is special for you, that's tailored just for you and your needs, and help you in the affair and completely recover from it. So, okay, let's get on to the video. So today's video is about infidelity. Y'all, I am like, please forgive me. I am like so trying to keep it together right now. And you know what? I'm not going to start this video over because you know what? I'm a real person. I mess stuff up. I go through hard times. I want to be professional, and I try to give you guys the most professional videos that I can. But I also want you to know that, hey, life is hard sometimes. And sometimes behind the scenes, I have, family things that I struggle with. I've mentioned my mom in a couple of my videos. So, I might mess up when I'm talking, but I hope that you can forgive me, and just know that, hey, I'm here with you, that I don't always have everything all together. I've come a long ways, in my recovery. Like, I'm really going through a hard time right now, but I don't feel the need to escape. I don't feel the need to run away from this problem. Like, 10 years ago, I would have wanted to run out the door and find my affair partner and never come back, because I just didn't know how to face, like, hey, oh my gosh, my mom, has cancer and she's sick and I can't be here. But now, I don't feel that way. And I hope that will encourage you, because I know that a lot of my clients talk about, the affair partner being an escape world, and they really are. But I want to encourage you that you don't always have to feel like you're going to run from your problems, or you have to run from them, that you can learn how to stand still in the face of an issue and really walk through it, and remain confident and true to who you are, remain true to your integrity, and do the things that you need to do without feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to run to another person. I've learned in 10 years how to run to God to really help me keep me stable. So yeah, that's a tangent. I don't even know where that came from. I don't know. I just want you guys to know that I'm like a real person. Like, that this isn't, that I'm here with you. I got your back, okay? All right. Now, back to what I was saying. Okay, infidelity. Okay, affairs are not caused by marriage troubles. Now, this is important. Like, this is a topic that really needs to be discussed, in my opinion. And I say that because when I first had my affair, I blamed my husband. I blamed my marriage. I blamed my past. I would have blamed my dog if I could have. Like, it's your fault I had an affair. You're misbehaving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I blamed everybody, and I thought I had a reason to. I thought those emotions were valid, and those, what was going on in the marriage, I thought that was valid and I could do that. But in honesty, it's not true. It's just not true. What's going on is, okay, so we don't want to not validate our feelings of rejection, of not feeling beautiful, not feeling desired. We don't want to say, hey, you never felt that way. Hey, the marriage is not in trouble. That's not what I'm saying at all, because actually the marriage most likely is in trouble. The marriage, a lot of times we don't know that we have to keep the fire burning, and we have kids and the dynamics change, and we put the marriage on the back burner. Now we're mom and dad, and we're not husband and wife anymore, and a lot of neglect comes in and that kind of thing, and it's real. It's real issues, real problems, and they need to be addressed. But that is not why we had an affair. We had an affair because we have a core wound that causes us to respond to hard times in a negative way. Okay, I gotta put my heater on. It's cold. I'm in Louisiana. I'm a Cajun. I'm not used to this cold. So if I turn that off in 1 second, I'm like, eh, I need it to be 90 degrees, to feel comfortable. But okay, back to what I was saying. Guys, we can have a bad marriage and we can neglect, our husband can be neglecting us. Now, I will say, if your marriage is toxic, if there's abuse, if there's drugs, if there's anything like that, I, you know, I don't ever recommend staying in an abusive situation. But again, that's something that you have to decide for yourself. Um, if you want to, um, you know, help that person along or whatever. But, and disclaimer here, I am not saying for you to leave your spouse if they're abusive or anything like that. What I'm saying is, don't blame your marriage for having an affair, because we don't have to respond that way. We don't have to choose to respond to our husband's neglect by going find someone else that won't neglect us, or if our husband doesn't say that we're pretty or we smell good or our eyes are beautiful, then I'm going to go find someone else who says those things. If my husband and I have been arguing for like a year or so, or we just can't seem to get on the same page, I'm not going to go find someone who will get on the same page with me. That's a me problem. That's not a marriage problem. And now, do we need marriage counseling? Probably. Should we pay attention to what's going on and start to put our marriage a priority and fix this? Yes, we should. Because the trouble in the marriage makes us vulnerable, okay? So it does make us vulnerable. It does open the door in a sense where, hey, now my emotional needs are not getting met. Now I might not feel that emotional connection with you, and you haven't created that safe space for me. Now I'm vulnerable. But I don't have to respond to my vulnerability by having an affair. If my attachment style is anxious, which mine was, and I'm more secure now. But with my attachment style being anxious, then if my husband would do something, then I automatically thought he didn't love me. And that wasn't true. But because I believed he didn't love me, and my affair partner started flirting with me and paying attention to me and making me feel special, then I was like, oh, okay, well, he might love me and he might not leave me, because the root of anxious attachment styles and avoidance is insecurity. Well, it is insecure, but it's abandonment issues. No one wants to be alone. So we have those in both styles. They just manifest in different ways, meaning I'm going to be more clingy. I'm going to, need more of that. I need a backup in case you leave me. And the avoidant is going to be more of, I'm withdrawing, protecting my heart. I'm shutting down. I'm not letting emotions in. That's how they respond to the fear of being alone, which abandonment, that's the fear at its core. I mean, that's what's at the core of abandonment, is the fear of being alone. So let's not continue to blame the marriage. And the good thing is, if we stop blaming the marriage, then we can start taking responsibility for how we're responding things. Because as long as we're blaming someone else and, hey, it's your fault, you did this, you did that, then we won't ever be able to see the solution. Well, how do I fix this? Well, how do I work on myself? How do I go from insecure attachment style to secure? We won't ever be able to see that, and we will be the ones who will constantly live in emotional instability. We will be the ones who don't have contentment in our lives. We have to learn how to be content in whatever situation is going on around us. We have to learn how to be stable. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm feeling neglected, but I'm going to do something to find a solution for this, and for me, it's always starting with prayer. I'm going to start with prayer when there's a problem. I'm going to go to God first, and then I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep myself still. I don't have to fix everything in a sense where I have to control stuff. And that's coming from my anxious attachment style. Like, I have to protect myself from being alone. I don't have to constantly do that. And that's what I work with a lot. I work a lot with my clients, the attachment style. We do this. This is the kind of work that I like to do with them. I like to bring them on that inner healing journey, because I know in the end what type of person they're going to become. Meaning, in the end of that program, you're going to be stable emotionally. You're going to be secure in your attachment style. You will know how to be content no matter what's going on outside of you. You will learn how to self-soothe. You You will learn how to find solutions to problems, not just soothe emotions. Because sometimes, there's things we can control, there's things we cannot control, and other people is something that we cannot control. And sometimes we need just emotional soothing. We just need to soothe our emotions. Sometimes we need emotional soothing and problem solving in the same time. And it just depends on what situation we're in. But a lot of times, most of us run to emotional soothing, where I just need to soothe my emotions and I'm not going to look for any solutions to these problems. And that's where addictions come in. We get a lot of problems with, alcohol and drugs and sex and all of this. It's going to numb you for a moment. But once the alcohol wears off, the problem's still there. Whereas if we want to do something emotionally soothing, in a healthy way, then you find like something to watch on TV, but then now I'm going to try to find a solution to this problem also, that kind of thing. But what I'm saying is we work a lot on these issues. If any of this relates to you, then please sign up and we can get you to a more stable place. But we first have to realize the first step to healing is realizing that our marriage is not why we had an affair. It's just not. It's a vulnerable place. It created some vulnerability, and there is some issues in the marriage, of course, that have to be addressed, but it's not the reason. And if we always blame the marriage and that marriage falls apart and we get into another marriage, later on down the line, when problems hit, and they will because that's life, we will blame the marriage again, and we will look up one day and have been married for 5 times and not understand why. And that's not to condemn anybody or shame anybody. That's to say, hey, there's some pain there. There's some pain in your heart that's causing you to do this, and it needs to be healed. That's all that's saying. And of course, you'll be more stable at the end. I mean, it's just, that's what we want, right? We don't want to always live by our emotions. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. And thank you so much if you have watched this chaotic, messy video with me all over the place. I appreciate it. I love you. I got your back. If you need anything, let me know, and I will see you next time.